Hi, and welcome to Armchair Pundits. This is episode 3 of the new season, season 2. Today we have Cyril.
What's up?
We have Leon.
Hello.
We have myself, James. It's been a busy week, or busy weekend I should say. Transfer window is closed. International week has started, so we'll be discussing a little bit about the England team, people not turning up to the England game, the low ticket sales, but mainly we'll be discussing the transfer window and how our teams fared, and how the changes or the final nonsense that went on at the end, how it affected everything. So, as we were told by a few fans, or a few listeners, I should say, that there was a Man United fan on the show that sounded un-Man United, like that he needed to man up. So, Cyril, answer your critics. You have now bought Falcao.
Yep.
You had Di Maria at the time, but you've now bought Falcao and you landed Blind, and you've got rid of a lot of dead wood apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also got rid of someone who could have been very useful in Danny Welbeck.
Yep.
So, how do you feel less than a week on from the last time we spoke?
I'd like to apologise to our listeners for my depression sounding state last time. It was, if you're a lifelong Man United fan, you would have never experienced what we're lifelong is in our age group, in the 30s and under. You would not have experienced what's going on now at Man United, so you have to excuse me for that, allowing my emotions to devour me. A week later, I'm very upbeat. You know, it's a new day basically. We've got actual Falcao's a world-class striker. No one can really deny that. So we've got a world-class striker now in Radamel Falcao. We've got a world-class supplier in Di Maria. We've got covering defence now, Blind, who's
Covering defence, your defence is still shoddy if you ask me.
okay.
Let's be real.
No, wait. Let's be honest.
Out of the top 5 teams,
okay,
you've got the worst defence.
But realistically,
top 6 probably.
What? Okay, no.
Is your defence better than Tottenham's?
If we have all our starters playing,
yeah,
our defense is not that bad. If you say, okay, if you look at it this way, if you were to play 4-4-2, let's just do 4-4-2 for example. You'd have Shaw as a left back.
Yeah.
You can have either Roja as center defender. Then you can have Evans.
That's not his,
and then you can have
his natural position though. His natural position is a
okay.
left back.
Or you could have Jones. You can have Evans, Jones, and then Raphael. Is that bad? Is it really, with the hair in goal? Is it that bad?
Leon,
is it that
for
bad?
you,
Really?
List the other defenders at the other 5 clubs and see what if where they stack.
Man United's defence currently is the least established.
Yeah,
amongst the top, what you would consider is the top 4 now that are currently Champions League. I actually think that Cyril has a point about back 4 though. At the moment,
about 4.
He's not, but should he be? Yes.
No, he should have been.
I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so fixated on this in the 3-5-2, and now he's been so determined to play it. It's almost like he now I'm gonna make it work, whatever it takes. But how many games is it gonna take, and how far behind will Man U be before he realizes that a back 4 is the best way for him to go at the moment?
Yeah.
If you look at the Man U's lineup, they've brought a lot of less-sided players to add. They've added Shaw, Rojo, Di Maria, Blind. So and they already had Mata and Januzaj who already pretty much all left-footed. So in a sense, they've got enough balance for them to play with 4 at the back and decide what they want to do in their attacking lineup now. The only problem at the moment I see is that how do they fit Falcao, Rooney, and Van Persie together? Because
they won't.
Or does Mata just become what he did at Chelsea?
Well, I think he is, because he's already made Rooney captain, and James, the point that you made earlier, RVP is Van Gaal's boy. Now RVP might be injured, or he might be carrying something, but we don't know. But Falcao, why would you spend how much millions?
20 million for the season.
For the season, because of his wages and a loan fee on him sitting on the bench. I think one of the main reasons that it's a loan deal is because Man United didn't want to risk spending 40 million and paying his wages. Rather see how he goes. He's 28. He's not a spring chicken. He's got 4 good years left as a striker in the current strikers age world that we live in now. So maybe I don't necessarily think Falcao was necessarily needed.
He wasn't needed.
But at the same time, Man U are trying to get that reputation back of being a big team.
I think what it is that when we would say things of that nature, like if someone's available and they're world class and you have the means to get them, just go and get them and figure out the rest later. That's what fans always proclaim. Yeah. So I'm not going to say, oh, why are you buying Falcao? He's a world class player. He was available to us. We went and got him. Fair enough. Now it's up to Van Gaal to figure out a way to make it work. I personally, as a Man U fan, and I'm sure a lot of Man U fans would side with me, that I would prefer for Rooney to drop out. But as he's made Rooney the captain, he's boxed himself into a corner. I think what happened was that when Van Gaal first came, he saw that there was a couple of injuries, a few discrepancies, and he thought 3-5-2 until he gets the first team going.
No, see, someone said it to me the other day. But look at the injuries you had Blackett who came through the on tour. You could have played Blackett left back. First game of the season, Blackett left back. Smalling and Jones at centre back. You could have played Valencia right back. You could have had Herrera and Fletcher as your 2 DMs. You could have had Mata in the middle. You could have had Welbeck out wide. You could have had Januzaj and Young on the other side. You could have Rooney up top. That team is more than good enough to beat Swansea in a formation that they're familiar with.
And then I think he was a victim of his own success in the pre-season as well, because I'll be honest, I don't know if you watched the pre-season.
I watched every single Man United game.
The 3-5-2 actually didn't look that bad. The players seem to take.
But we spoke about what pre-season is.
Yeah, we spoke. But I think he saw that and he was like, "Oh, these guys look to be alright in this formation. Let me stick with it." And then when it started failing, I think what Van Gaal did, he wanted to come to Man United with a hook.
His own authority on it.
I'm gonna come with a hook. I'm gonna bring something new. I'm not just gonna come play the same formation that they had and just see how it goes. He thought, I'll bring 3-5-2 in, and that's been his mantra for the last few months. If he was just to abandon that now, he in his mind he's probably thinking that he's gonna lose face. So he's gonna stick with it through stubbornness and hope that somehow it falls into place.
Well, we've always said that the best managers, what they do, the best managers, what they have is what they use. So the players they have there, rather than say this is my philosophy, you go with it. Even to a degree, Mourinho molded a little bit his formation to the players he had to suit it. But you don't just say, okay, I'm gonna completely throw out the rule book, play something you've never played in your lives, and we're gonna go from here. I know he's saying it could take a year, but
they can't afford not to get a Champions League this year.
I really don't think he thought first 3 games he'll have 2 points. No, so that's why I was thinking the 3-5-2. Thought I could run this because we got an easy start. Even the rest of the games in September are relatively easy for United. He thought, yeah, win 2 out of 3, we'll be fine. And then window comes in, but that's why I think Falcao, he bought him because he knew he was up a creek. He knew he was up a creek because he thought he could do what he could do with what he had. Di Maria, did he really want him at the beginning? I'm not sure, because the defense is I can't get around it at the end of the day. You've got young defenders, promising defenders that you could have spent the money you spent on those 2 players on. You could have bought the Colombian Balanta, young, maybe a bit inexperienced, but someone who is supposed to be quality that you could have brought in there. You could have taken De Vries, who we knew about, who had a decent World Cup. Fair enough, he only played in Holland, but they are centre backs that are young and impressionable, and he could have stamped his foot in them. And then you'd have had a settled group of young centre backs. But now you've gone into the season with 3 or 4 centre backs.
I think
in a 3-5-2.
I think the problem that I had is that he didn't have a full pre-season due to the World Cup, for one, and so he probably wasn't able to fully assess how subpar maybe our back four. I wouldn't say our back four is terrible. When they're all starting, they're not that bad, as I said, but obviously they're the weakest out of the top 4 currently. I accept that, but they're not as shocking as they've been displayed to be. They look incompetent.
Confidence.
I think it's confidence.
It's confidence. Listen.
When you go from that Moyes situation to remember, not only when Alex Ferguson was there, everyone had an inferiority complex. So they go into Man U games and they're playing against the shirt, not against the players.
Yep.
And if you look at Man U's transfers, even over the last maybe 7 or 8 years, they've not been that great. Like when was the last? Apart from Van Persie, who was guaranteed, who was the last young player that you would have gone, you know what, that's a great signing? Cristiano Ronaldo. Who since then have you gone, you know what, that's a great signing by Man U, and he's turned into what we thought he would be?
Listen, the Man U saw we were running on, so we'll probably pick up another time. But as a Tottenham fan, were you happy with the transfer window?
Not particularly.
What were you missing?
I still think we are missing. I wasn't really happy with the fact that we didn't address the striker problem.
Would you have wanted Would you have wanted Danny Welbeck?
See, I'm in two minds. I think Welbeck will do really well at Arsenal because of Arsene Wenger and because Arsenal create a lot of chances. I don't necessarily believe that Welbeck would have had the same effect as Tottenham because I think we struggle to create chances. And Welbeck, as much as he has a lot of attributes, there isn't many goals that he creates for himself where you go out and he'll take a player on and score a goal. That's not really his game. He still needs service, and that's why I don't think he would have been suited to our game. But I think for Arsenal he'd be a very, very good signing.
Even with the recent, I don't want to say rejuvenated Lamela and Eriksen, you don't think that's enough there for him to maybe feed off?
No, because if you look at the game on Sunday, the Liverpool game, Liverpool were very, very clever in the way that they counter-attacked it. Everyone knows that Tottenham struggle to break down teams at White Hart Lane. It's been a known fact. It's been since Harry was there. It's been a problem. When teams sit back and counter-attack, it always causes us problems, and it still seems to be the key today. We don't have any penetration. We don't know how to create space for ourselves, and I actually think the White Hart Lane pitch is a problem because it's very narrow compared to other pitches. They can't. So that's why the new stadium is really important because they actually do need to make a bigger pitch.
So you might be in the same situation that Arsenal were a few years ago. Now that you're going after a new stadium, you're going to have to rein in the net spend.
Well, that's why I think that Levy spent the Bell money last year and hasn't really spent a lot this year. I think we've probably made a profit because of all the sales that we've had.
You're a profit.
Dawson, I'm glad that Dawson's gone. Finally.
A lot of Tottenham.
Yes, he is gone. We sold Jake Livermore. Holtby's gone on loan. Everyone that we've lost, apart from Sandro.
Even Friars you sold for 3 million.
But I think everyone we've lost, apart from Sandro, I don't think we'll miss any of them. Okay. To be fair, so for me, I think we've sold well, and I don't want to say that we've. Fazio's a good signing, but I would have preferred to have Muzakio because of the age thing, and I think he would have been more suited to the Prem. Fazio hasn't got a lot of pace, and we've basically replaced no pace with no pace because Fazio is no quicker than Dawson.
But he's not as good of a calamity as Dawson.
No, he's got a much better touch, and he commands the line a lot better. Yeah. He's a better player. So Lovren's not quick, and neither is Jose Font, and they done really well for Southampton. So I'm not unhappy, but it was uninspiring, put it that way.
Okay. For me, I think Liverpool's transfer window.
You should be ecstatic.
I'm not ecstatic. Listen, it would have been. I think I might have said it the other day. I think perfect would have been one more DM because we still have the Gerrard problem. I know it's not the way Brendan would like to play, having a battler in there. But I think there's certain games where we probably will need a battler in there because Lucas has lost it now. Fair enough, fans don't want him. Even Brendan Rodgers seemed like he didn't actually want him. So that's happened. And then the goalkeeper, which I'm hearing good news, is that apparently we're getting Victor Valdez.
I know, I heard.
For me,
he's better than Mignolet.
He's better than Mignolet. But is he good in the air? No. But does he command the box?
But neither is Mignolet.
That's the problem. We wanted someone
and you've got someone that could distribute the ball as well.
That's what I was going to move on to. The fact that our game is on distribution and Mignolet completely sucks at it, having him there will be fantastic for us to do that. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the transfer window. A title challenge, I think, is on for us. We'll probably fade towards the end, but a title challenge is there. Looking at Arsenal, they wanted a star striker. They wanted a top DM. They got neither. They got a decent striker,
but not a top striker.
They got a decent striker, but they still haven't addressed like Liverpool.
They ain't addressed the DM.
The DM situation. When the chips are down, when you really need someone to organise the defence with a strong centre back, they don't have someone to do that. They don't have someone to snap at someone's feet and say, "Give me that ball," like Vieira used to do, or even like Vincent Wanyama does. That's someone who think Liverpool and Arsenal should have been looking at when they were leaving Celtic. Having a year at Southampton should have shown them, okay, he can do the job there. Now we go and get him.
Southampton refused to sell anybody else.
But I think plus he did miss a large chunk of the season due to injury, so maybe that was another reason why.
I think it's just that there's guys out there. There's DMs galore now.
There's Brazilian Romulo, there's Aruka, there's guys out there. Listen, I was even thinking Lissandro Diarra, maybe.
When did he go in the end?
He didn't. It got cancelled because something happened in Russia. Okay. But even Diarra could have come in and done a job better than Lucas. It would have been fantastic, but at age of 29, he still has something else to offer than Lucas doesn't, even though Lucas is younger. But we've exhausted the transfer window, so we'll give the little few minutes we have to England, because obviously they named the latest England squad. So I'll name the squad. Starting out for today's game, we have Hart, Stones, Jones, Cahill, Baines, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Henderson, Wilshere, Sterling, and Rooney and Sturridge up front. And then the bench was Forster, Rose, Jagielka, Chambers, Milner, Delph, Townsend, Welbeck, Lambert, and one other person who didn't make it, Ginger
Colback.
Yeah, Ginger Pirlo. Colback. Yeah, right.
Ginger Pirlo.
That's what they called him, and obviously Hodgson said they have heard them call him that before, which he really shouldn't have said, but he said it in jest, and he got mocked for it. But yeah, Colback was in there as well. I think it's a good progression. England needed to start again. Did they choose the right players? No, I don't think so. I still think Klein should have been in there. I still think there's probably other midfielders that are ahead of Delph and Colback. There's other guys that probably could have gone in there ahead of him. I think Dyer at Swansea has shown over the last season and a half that he's worth a quarter.
If you want wing play,
and form-wise, if you're going to pick Chambers on form, then you should be really picking Dyer on form. If I'm honest,
this is literally.
But is he good enough? That's probably.
You have to give him a chance though, because this England team doesn't.
If you're starting again, look, Germany, Argentina, they play teams. They play players who are in form. Players from all kinds of teams in Argentina. So why not? Why not go with Dyer if he's on form and he's better than the current wingers that we have and in form at the present moment? Yeah, he got to play.
I mean, because you can see that England's going to have one of the lowest attendance rates since the new Wembley Open, because there's the nation has lost confidence in the national team. They don't inspire any kind of. There's no. I don't want to say it on Ree's phrase, but there's no joie de vivre. You know, there's no vavavoom anymore.
There's no nothing. You go to you don't even look forward to watching the England game. Why would people want to go spend £20-30 going to see them after work when they're not entertaining? The games that aren't entertaining. There's nothing to shout about.
I mean, the fact that
but do you not think that it's got Sterling in there today, it's got Oxlade in there today. They're exciting players. They're people that get you off your feet. You've got Sturridge, who's an exciting player. Rooney on his day can be an exciting player, so maybe it's just a case of the transition period.
But these players
going through it.
But these players are exciting in relation to the players that they play in their club teams. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's not playing with Ozil or Cazorla. That's going to help him out. He's playing with Delph.
He's been exciting for England, though. Let's be honest. Oxlade-Chamberlain has played for England and been excited. Sterling has played for England and been excited. They just haven't had a chance to do it on the same pitch at the same time because of injuries.
You see,
maybe this is the next step.
That's the whole what's his name? Chelsea owner Abramovich's problem. Exciting football. Do you know what I find exciting? Winning. As a Man U fan, I find exciting winning. I would so take Chelsea's style of play if it meant that we're going to win if we're going to win the Premier League. I don't care. Score 1 or 2 goals, it doesn't matter to me. Win and I'm happy. Lose and play great, You're just a clown. You're a jester. Clubs are supposed to win for their fans. That's what gets fans excited.
England squad, we'll find out if it's going to be an exciting game. I doubt it. But time will tell. Time will tell whether England are actually good enough in the future. They'll qualify from the group, but we'll talk more on another day. So I'd like to thank Cyril.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to thank Leon for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
So, guys, keep listening. Good to get your feedback. So hopefully the Man United fans that weren't too happy with Cyril, hopefully they feel he's manned up this week. Or for the ladies out there, not so much man up, actually shown some guts and shown some willpower for his team. So just keep giving us your feedback and we'll let you hear from you soon. Take care.
Good night.
Night.